Welcome to How Obsessed Are You with me, Hetty Austin.
Myself, Sanjay Arif.
Me, Nathan Eagle. Sorry.
Your name.
Completely blanked out. Completely blanked out. Me, Nathan Eagle.
Yeah,
That's
we-
all right.
we are.
Another take? Is
Nah,
what we
that's
keep
all right.
it?
That's all right.
Yeah,
It's
whatever.
normal,
That's
innit?
what you do, innit?
That's
That's what I do.
We are three friends who met on the comedy circuit. We are prone to hobby hopping and they take over our lives and then we drop it instantly. Done.
Yeah.
Forgot about it.
Good.
Well, sometimes not forgot about it.
Not forgot. Sometimes they're lifelong.
I think the problem
Others-
is just the frequency of how many new hobbies and obsessions
Yeah.
we take up.
We think they fix our lives.
They never
do.
Never do.
So, Nathan,
Yeah.
what are you obsessed with today?
The NBC American series To Catch a Predator.
To catch a predator specifically?
Yeah.
Because there's other
No,
type of...
just I don't like the other ones. The other ones
yeah,
are
yeah.
a bit.
The Facebook ones.
I
The
hate them
vigilante ones.
I hate those ones.
Do you think they're real?
I do think they're real, but I think it's a lot of the time it's people learning difficulties.
What about the catch a predator ones? You think
Oh, they're 100% real.
Yeah, you don't think there's any
No,
dramatisation?
No, they're all real.
I don't know what this is.
To Catch a
Oh
Predator
my god, it is amazing.
is where a guy called Chris Hansen, he's the host of the show, he's a journalist, he set up this TV show to catch predators, right?
Right.
And what they do is they hire out a house and they message people online like
Okay, so it's
as a
humans,
rouge.
not like
no, it's humans.
eagles.
Oh, you thought it was like a nature show? You
We're gonna
genuinely
learn
thought
it.
I was going to talk about nature.
We're going to lure this
I
lion
was
here
so
through the internet.
confused.
Yeah.
We're going
And
to
it's-
get in a chat room with
We're
the
going to pretend to
tiger.
be a little cub.
That's beautiful. That's so nice, Hetty.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Did you actually think it was? I was talking about like a David Attenborough show. So what they do is they set up these people online. They pretend to be young girls or young boys, and they catch and they start messaging them and saying stuff. Hey, do you want to come to my house over in wherever? To the house that they've hired out as a team, and then the paedophile arrives. And they come in, and there's like an 18-year-old girl pretending to be 14, and then some of the things that happen. But then they come in, and then sit down for a bit, have a chat with the girl. The young girl goes out, and then Chris Hansen comes out with this folder, and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And like that, and then he starts questioning, going, "Why are you with this young girl?"
Do they? Because he's
Why did you
really
come in to see this
famous
14-year-old?
now, isn't he? He's
Oh,
super famous.
100%.
Yeah.
Is this
So
like-
do they know?
Some of them
when he
did.
walks in, they're
That's
like,
what I want to talk about. Is how stupid some
Yeah.
of them are. I mean, what they're doing is,
Wow.
of course, awful. But how could you be that dumb even after that show had
Wait.
been on?
Wait.
To
wait.
think this won't happen to me.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is like this is like the program This Is Your Life, but for people.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I've never thought about that. That is genuinely what it is.
That is a good
'Cause he's
sketch.
even- 'cause
We
he's
got
even
to do
got-
that sketch.
Because he's even got a book. He has
Yeah.
a book. And he goes through all of the stuff that they've said to this young person online. But that is
Oh
exactly
my
what it's
god,
like.
we're
Oh
going to
my-
do that
this is-
sketch if
this
it
is-
doesn't exist.
it's
Da,
cool.
da,
Yeah,
da,
yeah,
da.
yeah.
So you like
That
kids?
would be really
Are they going to
funny.
bring out all the kids and sit them in the
Oh
audience?
my God.
So this is like, what? This is a program.
Yeah, it used to be. It's not on anymore. I think he still does a version of it
Yeah,
on other channels, but I don't know.
because
This
it
was
used
massive.
to be on TV.
It was on
like,
NBC,
Yeah.
and it was I think a very not 90s maybe.
I think it was 90s. Yeah.
90s, early 2000s. If it's one of those things that I don't know if I should enjoy it, but it's American, and you know American TV can be so like entertaining, even though
They
you know
do everything to keep you
I shouldn't,
engaged,
but
don't
watching
they?
this,
Like,
yeah, but
they
it's
keep
so, like-
repeating. They keep going. This amazing thing is going to happen in a minute.
One guy,
It's going to be
one
amazing.
guy, but how stupid they are. One guy turned up and he sat in the kitchen waiting for this young girl to come out of the bathroom, and he took all of his clothes off. He was sat there naked, just sat there like that, and then Chris Hansen comes out with his book, but just sat there. I thought, how could you?
Because I've never sat down and watched a whole episode.
You should watch them.
It's
Hilariously
proper
funny.
like it's proper like like
Is it? Is
car
it
crash
funny?
entertainment.
They're entertaining.
It is entertaining.
It's the same things that
and you
why
can
people
feel
watch.
good because they're taking predators
yeah,
off the street.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so you can be like, oh, it's all right to watch this.
It's a weird one, isn't it? Because it is like it is. Should I be watching that?
And it's so fascinating because, like, how many times have you thought, like you hear something hot, like awful about some child abuser or something, and you just think, how can people be like that? How can a person like that exist? And then this show, it's literally like just if you put one in a cage and watch them, and because it's like hidden cameras, they just come in and you see them interact with what they think is a young girl or person or whatever, and then
I mean that is fascinating about it, is like it gives a face to these demons that you hear about in the news and that, and when you actually look at them, I mean, there's doctors, there's really smart people, like who still travel 5 hours. It's America, so they will travel 5 hours to go to this girl's house. And I think, how could you do that, first of all? But how could you be that tapped to think that you wouldn't get caught doing that?
So they use that term in the.
No.
I don't know where that comes from. It just fits, doesn't it? But so tapped.
Yeah.
We'll probably find it is incredibly offensive.
It might be, actually. It might be, actually. How could you be that stupid, though, to think that you wouldn't get caught?
Well, because there's I've seen the clips, the Facebook ones.
Yeah.
It's a similar vein in that but it's like vigilante justice, isn't it? So it's like because in that To Catch a Predator, the police come as well.
Yeah, that's
the police are involved. So
when
he comes out.
When they leave the house, they're just completely unaware. Then a SWAT team comes and just grabs them and face plants them on the floor and locks them up and takes them to jail straight away after leaving the house. And they have no idea this is going to happen.
Because I've seen clips where what's his name? Chris Hansen.
Chris Hansen.
He comes out and I've seen them bolt. I've seen them be like, crap, and they run, and there's police waiting to catch and bring them back for the show.
It's the show bit I'm struggling with. This is for entertainment.
It's so American.
But
it's so like gratuitous.
Do you know what I think it is? It's like when people who like watching like
My £600 life.
Literally.
No, it's different.
Of like the kind of like,
because that's inspirational. I'm not watching this for inspiration.
You don't watch those for inspiration either, really. No, the like 30 Stone Man or whatever. Yeah. You just want to see like, how does he wipe his bum? Like,
yes, they do. Did you ever watch the testicle one?
No.
The £100 testicle or something like that, and it's
God.
like that big. It's
I'm not watching that for inspiration.
Oh, it's great.
2 stone testicle.
Yeah, something
good.
like that.
That really rolls off the tongue.
It's insane. But I think it's the similar fascination that you have with watching the Ted Bundy documentaries and things like that. I think it's that kind of thing.
There's this gross element of human nature, or like the freak aspects of like human nature, like the people that are attracted to children, that you don't want any part of it, but you can't look away. You're like, why are they like that? Like
Louis Theroux's documentaries on it are really fascinating as well. He did loads of documentaries with paedophiles that were really fascinating and interesting. I do think it's an interesting subject.
I think I might have seen one of. I've seen the one where they have like a community.
They had a whole.
It's like a village, isn't it?
It
is like a prison, but it's like a village complex or something.
In America, they built, instead of going to prison because they were taking up too much space in prisons, they built a facility and tried to rehabilitate them.
Yes.
And there were some people in this facility that hadn't even committed an assault.
Yeah.
They had literally just said, I've had thoughts.
Yeah.
And I need help. And they put them in this facility to try and rehabilitate them, which I think is probably a good thing to do.
Yes, but also, because from what I remember of the show,
is this too controversial?
I think it's all because
you sure
it's just something that happens,
series,
isn't it? It's a TV series.
Yeah, but people get really like.
I've seen from what I remember from that documentary.
Yeah,
there was a guy who was like, I don't have thoughts about children anymore. But he had to go through like a procedure, like he had to have like chemical castration or something to leave. So he was like, I'm just trapped here forever.
Yeah.
Like I can never leave unless I agree to have my dick cut off or whatever it was.
They can chemically.
Which is insane. And then there was another thing. I saw another one in it where Louis Theroux was interviewing a guy, and he had like a picture up on his wall.
It was too childlike.
And it was quite childlike,
of like a ballerina
just
or
very,
something like that?
very effeminate male. I think called ballerinas as well. What's
like a ballerina?
Male dancer.
Ballet dancer.
Ballet dancer, yeah. And Louis Theroux just
Oh, yeah.
asked him.
It's a male.
Yeah.
Is that a ballerina?
It's not ballerina, it's a ballet dancer.
Ballerina's a
male ballet
woman,
dancer.
isn't it? Yeah.
Whatever. And Louis Theroux was just like, don't you think that picture's a little bit suggestive?
Yeah,
and the guy was like, oh, I'd never thought that before.
Yeah.
I guess, yes, let's take it down.
Yeah.
It's like you're still like hiding in plain sight, mate.
But it's a difficult subject, isn't it? Because the one thing about that problem is never going to go away.
No.
So they need to somehow find a way to rehabilitate them.
Yeah.
So those facilities, you kind of need
They're incredibly
something.
controversial.
But it's difficult because people have such a visceral hatred towards paedophiles, which is understandable.
Yeah, because I still don't think we've explained the concept to
yeah,
Hetty
this is what
about what the lure of this program is.
Yeah, what is it that makes you think, oh, do you know what? I've had a long day doing this. Do you know what would really hit the spot now if I watched some paedophiles being caught?
Well, there's a gratification to seeing a bad person like pay for their crimes. Like there's a gratification to like, that awful person's been taken off the streets now. And even if really you just want to see them squirm and you just want to like see all the what do they act like? Why are they like this?
Kind of that.
You can still convince yourself, oh well, it's good end,
It's good,
so
Okay.
you can justify watching
and they
it.
do genuinely go to prison. and stuff like
Yeah,
that
the
after
police
they've
get
caught
them.
a lot of people.
Oh, you know what is really satisfying? Watching a paedophile cry.
Yeah.
They're just, I didn't mean it. Really? You didn't mean it when you sent 157 messages?
But that's the thing, it's the blatant lying.
Yeah.
It's like, they've literally got it. And they're like, she said she was 18. It's like, we've got it here.
Yeah. They go,
why are you still lying?
I thought she was 21. And it goes, it says here. You
Yeah.
go, are you 12? And she says,
Yes.
And
they
you go,
send-
great.
Yeah, and they send pictures and all
I
sorts.
thought I was typing 21.
But it's just like, but they must be so ill that do they want that so much that they would put themselves at risk? That's what gets me. Is like, how could you be that stupid to think that you're not going to get caught doing that, and make 5-hour trips to a house where this 12-year-old girl's parents aren't in? How could you think that wasn't, what's the word? Suspicious that you were going to get caught. I just think you would. They must want it so badly that they don't even think about that. Like, they must be delusional, to a sense.
Do you think there's sort of something, it scratches that itch in your brain where it's a bit like, well, at least I'm not as bad as that person? Is it like the human condition of, when there's a car crash, sort of, you can't help but look?
But I think it is that. It is.
Do you
the
think
car
it is
crash
part
thing.
of that?
But I don't think it's because I think at least I'm not as bad as them.
Because I think
it's the car crash element though. Watching something that is so crazy and shocking, and completely out of the realm of like anything that you would ever experience. So it's like, wow, this is kind of nuts.
I suppose I could see why you would get obsessed with that, because it is like, it's something that your brain hasn't had to think about in its life, isn't it? It's so out there. It's so far removed from you that. Like, cause sometimes I would never choose to watch like programs like Police Interceptors and stuff like that. But if
love stuff like that.
if it's on, like when it's like, oh, you've watched a TV program and you come back in. Sometimes I'm like hooked watching it.
Yeah, they're good at doing it. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, they know what the most entertaining bits are. So I get into these programs if they're on. But I deliberately try not to watch them. Like, I won't go, I'm going to sit down and watch Police Interceptors. But if it's on, I'll watch it. Yeah. Because I know I don't feel like it's a good use of my time. And I feel like like it's a waste of time. So I don't seek it out. But where you're like, I'm really into Catch a Predator and I've watched loads, I'm kind of like, I
want to watch.
I wish
because they are shocking. Like it is. I know it sounds bad, but it is so entertaining.
And you see something and you think it could never get worse than this, or how that can't happen multiple times. And then there's hundreds of episodes.
Well, it is, but it is like the people that just turn up. And then like there was one where they said, the person posing as the young girl said, "Oh, can you take your clothes off when you arrive and walk in?"
Yeah.
And the guy just did it. And he just walked in naked and then straight into Chris Hansen. And he was like, what are you doing? You sit down for me? And they do just sit down really politely as well, like, oh, and then they immediately deny. It's like,
Yeah,
oh, yeah, we were
deny
just hanging
everything.
out, just going to smoke some weed and play some games.
I think I've seen it when Chris Hansen's been like,
What's the matter?
I can't get my head around
got-
this being
okay.
a TV program.
watch
we
it.
got okay, because I don't think I've seen an episode from start to finish, but I'm going to
Watch
attempt
clips.
to explain like what happens.
Yeah.
So first of all, Chris Hansen, doesn't he goes, oh, this is the case. There's a guy from this place, he's been talking to this girl, and we're going to confront him.
Yeah.
And then it will cut to like the shot of inside a house,
Yep.
and it will be like a young girl like sat, like the doorbell goes or a phone goes or something, and she goes, oh yeah, I'll let you in. This guy comes in,
She
and
walks
like
out and she immediately goes to. She says a little bit of stuff to him.
she'll
but
just
she
say
gets
something
out
like,
of it.
oh, you sit here, I'm just going to go get ready or something.
Because half the time they don't look young
Yeah.
because they got like wigs
Yeah,
and shit
yeah.
on. You think you'd be able to tell.
And I think it's literally they walk in and they go like, are you Chantel?
Yeah,
They'll be like, yes, I am. And I'll just be back in a sec. They walk out, and then Chris Hansen walks in,
Right.
and that's when you see the guy, like watching his reaction.
The shock. I
Yeah.
love the shock. of
Because
them.
sometimes they know him because he's a
Seen
celebrity.
it.
sometimes they're just like, why is there a guy here? Are
Yeah.
you her dad? Like,
Yeah, they say
and
dad
just,
a lot,
Yeah,
yeah.
and just watching their reaction is so to watch. You know, you're allowed to enjoy their pain.
Is
Because
it-
they're a terrible person, you're allowed
Okay,
to
I'm
enjoy
going to
their
put it
pain.
in Hetty terms then. Is it a bit like if I watch Antiques Roadshow and the thing that they thought was worth a lot of money isn't, and their face falls?
A little bit.
You sort of
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah. Like
that
they go,
is part
"Oh,
of-
I've
yeah.
got this watch that I spent £100,000 on. I hope
Yeah.
it's worth £1 million. They go, it's actually worth
£10.
£10, and you see them. They're like,
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
it's
that
like
is that is my favourite bit. Is
With the
reveal
gratification.
of Chris Hansen. Yeah.
Because if you see that to happen to someone, you have to justify. You might go, oh, I feel a little bit. Is it okay to enjoy their pain? But they must be rich. They're probably a prick. They're a bit
Yeah.
arrogant. Whereas this is like they are
Definitely
100% a
in
wrong
the
un,
Bad person,
Okay.
yeah,
and
yeah.
you get to
Been
enjoy.
100% proven that
Yeah,
they're bad.
it's
yeah.
watching them like, oh, it's at the end of the
Squirm
movie.
out of it,
It's the
yeah.
end of the movie where the villain gets killed,
This
and
is
it's
right.
gratifying.
It's exactly
It's
that.
like that, but real.
And American TV does that.
And they
It
ham
knows
it
what
up.
They know what they're doing.
It'll
It's
go
a
like-
perfect formula.
Not so much because it's a 90s program. If it was made now,
Yeah.
it would be multiple camera.
He does versions of it now. There is a version of it now. When I watch it, it was kind of like the beginning of like really
Reality
batshit reality
Mm.
television because it's an insane like subject. But I think it was I do think that it was
I'd be
kind of the
interested-
beginning of this crazy TV like Big Brother and stuff like that.
I saw a movie recently. It's got Henry Cavill in it and Sir Ben Kingsley, and it's like a Catch a Predator thing.
kind of show.
Well,
Yeah.
now I'm interested in him. Cavill's in it.
It's really good. Well, it's not brilliant.
See him.
Do
my-
I fancy
Yeah, my
him?
wife
course,
likes him
who
as well.
doesn't?
I think she only
I
likes
fancy him.
Superman though.
But it's basically a Catch a Predator premise. So Ben Kingsley is reverse grooming
Yeah.
people online, and he will entrap them. But rather than have the police arrest them, he cuts off their balls.
Yeah.
Like so, it's like
Yeah, there was
catching them.
something- Yeah, like revenge movies are good, aren't they?
Yeah, and this is like real life.
You want to see the bad people get
Yeah,
done in.
take them off the streets.
How long have you been watching this program for?
It's been like the last month. It just come up on my algorithm and I started watching it. And it was like a best of on YouTube. So I watched this. And then underneath, it just got me. It just caught
Yeah.
me. Literally underneath, because the algorithm knows how you work, doesn't
Yeah.
it? So it just shows you loads of the other episodes, full episodes, just underneath. Massive row. And it just... I just watched this one.
I will
I just
almost
watched this one.
certainly do a YouTube dive
Yeah.
onto this now, because I've watched those things on YouTube, like best of, best
Yeah, yeah.
reactions,
It's normally
the
how I
best,
get
the
ya.
top 5 people who ran, the top 5 people who cried
yes,
on,
yeah.
and that's what I've seen.
Watch Mojo and
the
stuff like
reactions,
those things, yeah.
But that's the thing. So the things I've seen must be like 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
The program is what, an hour, half an hour?
Yeah, because they go to what they do is they go to one like state. So
Yeah.
say if it's in like
And catch as many
they
pedos
do.
in
So
the
they
state
hire
as
a
possible.
house and they
Bloody hell.
sometimes they arrive at one time they arrived when they were still with someone. So someone came too early
No
and
way.
he turned up when they were still in there with all the cameras and that. And they was like,
Yeah.
what's going on?
I'm like, hang on, we'll get you in a minute.
2-for-1. Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. But yes, they do it. Like the whole show is like they're in a state and they catch as many people as possible.
I'm guaranteed.
One guy, they caught one day, and Chris Hansen said, "Oh, so are you going to do this ever again?" He's like, "No, this is the only time I'm ever going to do it." And this is back when they didn't have the police enforcement outside.
Ah.
The next day, he did it again.
Back on it. Same with them.
Same guy with them again, but this time at a Burger King. Did the same thing.
Wow.
Like, how could you be? Do you know what I mean? That's insane to do that 2 days in a row after that had just happened to you. And that was the guy who was caught naked. And he still did the same thing the next day.
It's like the most animated I've seen Nathan in.
It's because it's shocking.
It is shocking.
It is crazy TV.
It's like,
and they're crazy people.
It's so unreal.
Yeah.
It is like watching a car crash in slow motion, and I completely understand the draw of it. And I haven't even watched it.
Yeah.
But the bits I've seen, I'm like, I would like this. I know I would. And I think, like, because you haven't seen it, I can see you struggling to get round to the concept.
I don't think Hetty would enjoy it.
I think we watch very different programs.
I don't know if
I'm watching a program of a couple doing up a chapel at the minute. That's what I'm...
Thing is, I like that too.
No, I don't.
I do. I just like... I'll just watch anything. Which is why I avoid TV. That's why I cut the aerial off my roof. so I didn't just... Because whatever is on, I'll watch it. I watched the bloody... I used to watch that crab fishing show. Was it like Most Dangerous Catch?
Oh, I used to watch that.
About just catching crabs.
Yeah, no, I used to watch that.
And the tuna one. Have you ever seen the tuna one?
No, I don't think so.
Where it's like all the tuna fishermen... Like the show is just keeping a record of how much tuna they've caught. And it's like the program dramatizes it so much, but it doesn't mean anything. Like they're like, I've got to beat the other boat. It's like, why?
Well, do you know what I watched with Colleen for a long time was Below Deck. Have you ever seen that?
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
It's about people that run a boat, like the yachting crew on a boat.
I do know about
Really?
this. Something went viral, didn't it? Because he was...
I don't know.
He was...
Like pinched a bum, didn't he?
Oh, was
he was trying to get into someone's room without consent, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah, that was in the later series.
Yeah.
No, but I like that. I watched that a lot, and that's like something that nothing really happened on it.
Yeah.
But it's that American thing where they say, when at the beginning of the show, they say, "Oh, it's all done out in the trade," and there's something terrible happens, and then it's something really simple.
Yeah.
Like someone forgot to mop a toilet or something like that.
Well, that's the whole thing. It's the thing is you can still enjoy the excitement.
Yeah.
Up until the point they reveal it. And so you've still like been like, oh, I thought something great was going to happen, and then it's not.
Yeah. So
it's like I still enjoyed the tension.
Yeah.
So do you think that once you've exhausted this majority
I think
of
I'll move
stuff,
on. I'm already starting to move on.
Just do something
but
else,
you're not interested in the Facebook vigilante stuff?
No, I hate that stuff. I don't like that stuff. I don't trust that stuff.
Do you know how I found out about that Facebook one?
Yeah.
Because it happened to a comedian. He was caught. I don't think it was an open mic. He wasn't particularly well known, but he was caught by the online vigilante people, and it went round comedy forums going, "Oh, look who's been caught on this," or whatever. And then that made me realise it was a thing, of like they do the same thing. They reverse groom someone, get them to meet in a location, and then they just go there and go, "Look, we've got your messages. You think." You thought I was a 12-year-old girl. What have you got to say to that? And they don't have the police involved.
No, the thing I don't like about those ones is that I did watch a few of them, and they always seem to be catching. Like there was one on there with Down syndrome. So like I thought I just felt uncomfortable with like. A lot of them seem to have severe learning difficulties.
Yeah.
They don't seem like you're.
There's huge problems with the vigilante thing. Like there's so many things wrong with it, and it's massively discouraged by the police.
The police don't like it.
Yeah, and I don't, and it is put up for entertainment and view. You know, they often those people.
But it's just not done in a professional manner.
Yeah.
Leave the catch to the predator one. You realise they are actually going through a system. They're going to a prison.
Yeah.
They're getting questioned about it.
I mean, Catch a Predator is again. It's put up for entertainment.
100%,
Our
But
entertainment.
Chris Hansen has a book.
He's got a book, and he wears a suit.
But we can justify that to ourselves because we can go.
Yeah.
The police were there. They went to jail.
It's been made.
Yeah.
Back to Louis Theroux when he feels very like responsible because of the Savile thing.
Yeah.
Because he did a documentary about him.
Yeah.
And he kept asking him, and he said afterwards, because he felt like he always felt like there was a
Held
question
back,
that he just couldn't get Jimmy Savile to art. He couldn't work out what his sexuality was.
Yeah.
And it was in the air. He knew something was off.
All of his tricks he could never get
Yeah.
through. I was fascinated with all the documentaries,
About
all
Savile.
the interviews of Savile, and Louis Theroux's one.
I think with these sort of things, I can see why you would
That's
be
'cause-
obsessed with watching
Yeah.
these things, because I think it's, like I said, it's so alien and so weird that you kind of have to. I can see why the obsession would start, because you're trying to sort of understand a different human psyche,
Oh, yeah.
whereas I think I'm the other way. I don't want to hear a thing
Comfortable
about
things.
But
I
think
just-
it's
I want
Yes.
to see someone renovating a flat. There's other programs, like they have ones where they set up thieves and they catch the thieves, like they put fake packages out
Yes.
for them to go. Those are really entertaining.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's just a thief.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
obvious why people steal, and like
Yeah,
people are
or
greedy,
whatever. Yeah,
or
yeah.
they're poor, or or they're just used to it. That's their life. They're trying to get away with it.
It's kind of similar to that idea of
Yeah.
that program, though.
That idea, but then this is people you are just completely alien.
Yeah.
Like you cannot understand their motivations. The only thing I can understand about the motivation is that it's something that is so wrong and not accepted in society that they would be attracted to the taboo. Do you get me? Like, so it's
Yeah.
like, oh, you shouldn't
Yeah.
do that. So there's a type of person that wants to do it.
Get what you mean.
But the actual, like, any more detail than that, I just
Don't
can't
understand.
get my head around it. No.
Nathan, how obsessed are you?
Not that much anymore. Actually, no, genuinely.
Obsession.
Genuinely, I'm coming to the end of it.
Yeah.
This is the last bit of the obsession because I've run out of episodes to
Yeah.
watch.
Well, I think that's what happens, isn't it?
Yeah,
you
I just got into it
you
for a
see
bit.
something,
It's,
you watch nothing but that.
but it's because it's
For
late
days.
night. I'm always looking at stuff because I struggle to sleep because I have what is called stupid brain. That thinks too much.
Donkey
Yeah.
brains.
Night time.
I've just been diagnosed with donkey brains.
It's a nightmare. The old
Hate them
brain.
donkey brains.
Yeah. I always find the weirdest things to watch at night. So either like before this, I was like Titanic stuff. That was
Yeah.
because of that. Wrestling was because of that. I'd watch a lot of wrestling late at night, and now it was To Catch Predator specifically. And what will it be next? Who knows?
What
Could be
will it
anything.
be next? But I completely understand your binging.
You understand? Hetty doesn't. Do
I mean,
much.
because you don't really watch YouTube, do you, Hetties?
No.
So how do you binge
I don't.
Chateau and stuff? Is it when it's on
She
like
watches
the
TV.
I watch TV
She
like
watch
an old
proper
person.
TV.
when it's on telly?
I don't
When
watch
they have a
proper
channel
But
that's just the
I
same
haven't
program.
I haven't been watching telly for ages. Let's wrap this up then. So,
Yeah, we only
if you're
reason.
listening or watching, what camp are you in with this one? Are
you pro
you-
pedo or anti pedo?
Would you find watching, what was it called?
To Catch
To
Predator.
Catch a Predator. Would you find that a relaxing, entertaining
I
thing?
don't find it relaxing. It's not relaxing.
You
It's
watch
like-
it before you go to sleep.
Yeah, but no, it doesn't help me
Oh,
get to
it's
sleep.
like,
It's just because it fuels my brain. It
Gratification.
stimulates me.
It's an entertainment then.
I'm trying to
It's
think of
entertainment.
something. I'm trying to think of something similar. It would be like going to watch the gladiatorial fights or something. It's
Okay.
just something. It's like
Something like that.
because it's just
Yeah, it's a bit
awful
Victorian.
human nature.
It's a kind of Victorian freak showy
yeah,
type.
and
Right.
you get to enjoy them being punished.
It's the same. Yeah, yeah.
And it's almost guilt-free punishment.
Well, the
because
thing
they're
is,
bad
I know I'm
people,
not alone
you know?
because literally it's like
It's massive. isn't it?
40 million views on YouTube for one episode.
Or are you like me, never heard of it, thought it was a nature documentary, and you'd rather spend your evenings watching a couple do up a chapel to live in and have a pottery business in it?
I mean, that's just vulgar.
No, it's not. It's really wholesome.
I do like wholesome programs.
Yeah.
I like
Ah,
them.
see, I don't.
But I like I think I just like any entertainment. Like
Yeah.
I would watch a wholesome program if it's on. I'd watch the Catch a Predator if it was on.
Yeah.
I'd watch Police Interceptors. You know what I watch? What I watch most on YouTube, and if I could watch on TV, I would. I think it's called Forged in Fire or something, and it's just people making swords.
Thank you to our listeners for listening.
Oh yes.
And I
Okay.
hope that wasn't too controversial. If it was, let us know secretly. If you have anything else
This one.
that could be a good recommendation
2
for
weeks.
Nathan after he's now, because this is now at the end of it.
Yeah. What other?
What are your recommendations now?
Because you've had your operation.
But your
You
belly
lived.
in that cut, and yeah.
I've
Thing
been
all cut up.
cut in half.
I
Sliced and
didn't, I,
diced.
didn't, I didn't have to put the last episode out with sad music
Got a
over
hole
and
in your
stuff.
joints.
Got a hole in my tights. Got a hole in my skin.
Got a new belly button.
New belly button.
Yeah.
Not so happy with the swelling at the moment.
Not so happy with the swelling. I hated listening to myself being so positive in that last one. I feel like shit, mate. I feel like shit. Have that in the episode.
Yeah.
I feel like shit. Have that.
So please get in touch.
Yeah. Do you think I'm weird for watching To Catch a Predator to the early hours of the morning?
I want to know if
No,
there's
you-
anything. Is there anything else like that?
Oh, yeah.
Is there any
That's
other
weird.
entertainment as guttural as that?
I wonder.
Ground
know.
force.
One last.
Wow.
Thanks for watching.
Really makes you think.
Find us on all of the podcast places.
Wherever you get your podcasts.
podcasts.